Hello, you're watching Ellie from Elementary Paper Crafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK. Today I've been playing again with the artistically inked stamp set and the beautiful expressions and ink papers. I know I've already brought you a couple of videos using this suite, but I really love it, and I wanted to show you how versatile it is. So really, because the papers are so beautiful, I wanted to show you how you can make a really quick card that somebody would be, delighted to receive because it's so beautiful. So without any more chat, I'm going to show you what I'm going to use. So this might seem a bit odd, but I've chosen to use early espresso cardstock, which is a very deep brown. Many people associate this with using it for a masculine themed card, but this brown goes beautifully with pink, and especially the polished pink. So what I've done is I've cut two quite random triangles from our lovely polished pink DSP, and I'm simply going to place them on opposite corners. Now, I can't give you exact measurements and how to cut this because I literally just put it into my trimmer and cut it at an angle. And it really doesn't have to be precise, just as long as, well, I was happy with it being a more acute angle at the top, and taking it down to a wider angle at the bottom so that it gave a kind of, I think they call it a spotlight effect. And that was what I was looking for. So that's how I've started, by cutting two pieces of my beautiful DSP into these random triangular shapes. And I'm going to pop them onto my card. Now you could put them right up to the edge like that, giving you no border and lots more of the wider effect, but I quite like them to be just brought in about 1/8 of an inch to give that border. So I'm just going to use my trusty tweezers, as always, and just apply some of our Tombow multi-purpose glue along the edges. I'm being very careful to go right up to the edges because I don't want this to come away at all. So a thin coating over the rest. And the other side of this paper is adorable as well. I'll definitely be using it that way up. I'm thinking maybe I should have purchased 2 packs of this paper. Perhaps another order will be going in. Oops, this isn't quite going according to plan. That's it. But the good thing about this glue is you can actually just quickly wipe it away with your fingers. It dries and you can just take it away like that, and there won't be anything left on your cardstock. Just persevere and you will just be able to rub it away. Okay, it's just like, it comes off like pencil rubbings that you can just simply dust off of your cardstock. So it's very good like that. And then I'm going to pop the other piece in the opposite corner. Okay, another little bit of glue on there. Now, I've told you this really is a quick card, which is great, you know, if you sort of suddenly realise you've forgotten someone's birthday. You can whip up a card like this and get it into the post within an hour or so. Incidentally, my card base is using a piece of A4 cardstock. That's the British size of card, and it measures just over 11.5. It's between 11.5 and 11.75 inches by 8.25, and I just score it down the centre to make what we call an A5 card, but by all means use whichever size card that you like to work with. That's irrelevant. The size really doesn't matter in this case. Now from the Ephemera pack, I've just chosen this lovely little outline here. It's like a double outline, and I'm just going to put it randomly in this larger space at the bottom, and just going to play around with it and get the sort of angle that I'm happy with. Might just simply put it like that, actually, move it up a little bit. Maybe I will bring it down. I think I'll just put it at a jaunty angle. Maybe just, yeah, I think I'm going to leave it like that. And my tip for applying glue to tiny little areas like this is to take the glue and pop it on the back of your hand, like so. Take your little die cut and just place it lightly over that glue so that it picks up little bits of it, and pop it into place and just hold it there for a few seconds. And that'll be enough glue to hold that in place. I'm just going to add a little bit to the back of these here and just pop that into place as well. And again, this just rubs off the back of your hand, and then you can just shoot those little bits into your bin, and it comes away very cleanly. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is use the greeting from the stamp set, just the plain happy birthday. This is quite this pattern's quite ornate, and so I think something very simple, this kind of very simple text, looks quite good. And I'm just going to stamp it in that diagonal space there. And for this, I'm going to use the gold embossing powder. So I'm using Versamark ink, which is just the clear sticky ink. And nearly forgot, but I must use my anti-static powder here. And this helps to stop the embossing powder from sticking to places where you don't want it. So just lightly tap my stamp onto the Versamark ink and pop it down. And there I can see I've got a nice good emboss with that ink. I'm just going to switch my heat gun on to warm up. And I keep this piece of card, and it's what I use to put underneath when I'm using embossing powder. It tries to contain it into one place. And I just keep this piece of card with my embossing powders to remind me to use that. So just put the powder over where you've stamped with your Versamark, and then I can just hopefully pop this back into the pot without getting too much anywhere else. And this is the gold embossing powder. I've used the gold to match the rest of the card. Now, if you do get embossing powder sticking, just take a brush, an old paintbrush, and just use that to take it off of your cardstock, like so. I've got a finer brush that I'm going to use just to get a little closer to the end here. Just brush that away. I think I've got all of that, and then just to make sure, I'm going to turn it over and give it a flick with my fingers and I'm happy with that. So before I come anywhere near with the heat gun, I'm popping the lid on that. And then the little bit that I did get in the card, I can pop that back into my container. So bringing the heat gun in, hopefully it's warmed up, and it's best to start from the underside of your card, and it just warms up the card and helps to stop it warping too much. And then just heat the top. And the secret is not to overheat it. Once it's turned into the shiny surface, don't go any further. You've done it. If you keep going over and over, it isn't going to make it any better. It's just going to make your card warp. We don't want that. Now, it has warped a bit. Heat will always do this to your card. But if you just leave it for a while and just pop something heavy on it for, you know, just 10 minutes or so, it will straighten itself out again. Now, I like it as it is, but I am just going to add a little something. And that little something is the little dots from, again, the stamp set. Now, very often we overlook these little tiny stamps that come in the set, but they are brilliant. They just add, you know, a little extra detail. So again, I'm just going to bring in my anti-static pad, just pop it all over again and do a little bit of stamping with this. And that's sufficient. You don't want to overdo it. I'm just going to put the heat tool on again to warm up. That's good. I'm just going to quickly clean off that stamp on my Stampin' Scrub, which I've got to my side here. And I'm going to just finish that off using the polished pink ink pad. And I'm going to just add a few of the pink dots to the designer serial paper, just to bring it in with the design in the middle. Okay, so I'm just going to use that brush over here. It just, the little bit of powder that I put on, it's just showing a bit on that cardstock, which I don't want. So that's it. That's our finished card, and I think you'll agree it's really, really quick but effective, and I'm sure someone would be really delighted to receive that card, even though it only took us a few minutes to put together. There is something else you can add, actually. I've got these sequins, which also came with the Ephemera pack, and they are self-adhesive, so we could just lift those off and they can be added just here and there to bring a little bit of sparkle to your card. These look really nice, and they don't have a colour, so they pick up, you know, whatever colour you're using, which is really nice. So there we go. One more, because always an odd number. So yes, I think that's really cute. So if you'd like to order any Stampin' Up products, I am a demonstrator, and this is the address of my online shop. I've just realised that that's my May host code, which obviously it's June now. So I'll have to change that. But if you would like to order anything, please go ahead and use my shop. Thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed this project. Hope to see you again. Bye-bye.